Okay, guys, what's up? What's up? This is Eric. Today is July 19th, 2024. So, yesterday was a good day trading. I made real money and then I did okay on my combine. Today, not so much. Kind of, break even kind of a thing, which is all right. I've got more work to do. I'll put it that way. So, somebody in the TradeStation forums did have a question. And part of my programming maturation and trying to develop my skills, my expertise is to just continue working, right? So even answering questions and looking at some of the things that I might consider to be simple, oftentimes I'll find that we'll learn something throughout the process. So here is, if you are live, you see in the chat, but if not, then here is the prompt of what the person was looking for. Okay, so what I just kind of showed you there, and you guys couldn't hear me, but essentially we were looking for a higher high and a higher low, and then so we got a higher high and we have a higher low. Okay, so then after that is found over 5 bars, then we want to go ahead and look for a lower high, so a lower high and a lower low. So pretty simple here, but and like I was telling the gentleman or the gal that I've been trading, I've been programming for a while now, and it's just been recently that I've been able to kind of really grasp and get my hands around what I call condition chaining, right? So we have one condition and it starts another condition. So we're gonna go and open up our development environment. Let me see here. Let's do this. All right, start fresh. Get some glasses on here and see what we can do. No, this one. Sorry, I gotta get my setup the way I want it. All right. Excuse me. All right. Actually, let's see. Yeah. And look at the chart trying to make a comeback. Yeah, this is what I was telling you the other day. And I consistently see this on my chart. I'm sorry, I just gotta take a moment to say it. It's more for me than it is for you guys, but I consistently say it, when I'm trading or if I'm looking for longs or that kind of thing. When I see this thing just dropping like this, don't try to take a long until you see these indicators pop up. Just saying that there is a different amount of market activity showing that there is some a higher amount of bids coming in at the lower side. So and then obviously, you know, you see this nice little move up here. Anyway, if I had it all figured out, I'd be somewhere sipping Mai Tais and I wouldn't be making videos in the morning. But we'll get there. We'll get there. All right, so we're looking for a higher high. So we're gonna do, that's what we're looking for here. Okay. Today is 071924. All right, and we're gonna have variables condition 1, false, condition 2. We know we need at least 2 conditions. And then I did find, I'll show you what I've got first, and then I can explain to you why I'm going through these next couple steps. Because I did go ahead and try to do this just so that I wouldn't waste too much of you guys' time. Put this on a 1 minute time frame. All right, so we're gonna come over here. Like I said, we're looking for a higher high and a higher low. So the good thing about TradeStation is it does have some reserved words. One of the reserved words is count if. So count if this is true, right? So you're gonna say count if, and then you got to put the test in and over how many bars, right? So we know that the guy's looking for it to be over 5 bars. And what's the test? The test is that we have a higher high and a higher low. So higher high, so a high higher than the one before it, and a high and a low higher than the low before it. Okay, over how many bars? Over 5 bars. Okay, and so he didn't say how many times he wanted it to be true, so I'm imagining they just wants to be true 1 time. So that's essentially what we're looking for. We're looking for count if to be equal to 1. Now, what are we going to do? Are we going to make condition 1 equal to true if that happens? Or are we going to say if that happens, then condition 1 equals true, else it equals false? We're going to say, because we want this to be the gate. We want this to be the gate, and so once the gate is open, then we're looking for the second condition. So we want this to be a switch to just switch on, not switch on, switch off, switch on, switch off. That's the thing that is confusing or can be complicated about the using booleans, using doing condition chaining and that kind of thing, is remembering that your conditions are switches. Whichever way you move them, they stay there unless you call for it to be moved a different way. Okay, it took me a long time to figure that out. Okay, all right, so we're going to say condition 1 equal to, well, so if we do it this way here, then every bar will be assessed, and every bar will be given a true or a false. Okay, so we don't want to do it that way. We actually want to switch it on, and once it's on, it'll just stay on. So we'll say if this is true, then condition 1 equals true. And so that way, once that condition is met, then all these bars after it, all these bars are going to be true for condition 1 until you turn it off. So we're just looking for all these bars to be true, and now that all these bars are true, as long as we have a true bar, now let's look for condition 2. So if condition 1, then we're going to look for condition 2. And condition 2 is going to be a lower high and a lower low. So condition 2 would be if we're going to do the same thing, count if we have a low, what is it? Is it lower high? Lower high and a lower low. Okay, so if low is less than the low before it, and low and high is less than the high, yes, lower high and a lower low, less than lower. So if the high is less than the high before and the low is less than the low before it, over 5 bars, if that equals 1, then condition 2 is equal to true. Okay, now this is the good part. So if condition 2 is actually equal to true, that's what we're looking for. So at that point, if condition 2 equals true, or we could just say if condition 2, then plot 1 low, we'll make it red, then plot 2, and also not only do we want to go ahead and plot, but now we want to turn condition 1 back off so it can reset and look for the next condition. So since we got to do two things, we'll go and put that second thing in here, which is condition 1 is equal to false. And then we'll put our end. And again, since we had to do multiple things, we need a begin statement. Okay, and that's all within here. Let's clean it up a little bit. Uh-oh. Okay. All right, verify that, no issues. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put this on the screen, and we'll see what we get. And I'll show you why we might need to add some other things. All right, so put that up there. All right, double click on this, and then we're going to change this to points. Don't connect the lines. Okay, and then so we get all these points. All right, so it's fine. So once we got a higher high and a higher low, now we're looking for a lower high and a lower low. Okay, and we get it here, right? The thing is once we get it, it's still continuing to give us true values on subsequent bars. It doesn't take a rest. It doesn't take a break. And again, remember now this is just having one in the last a lower low and a lower high, a lower low and a lower high within the last 5 bars. It's got to at least have one. What I would like to do is make it so that this resets. Now I'm looking at one thing here. So I see where, so you see here where we have this lower high and a lower low, and then this fires off. Well, now we have a higher low and a higher high, and it still fired off. So you say to yourself, you say, well, why did that fire off? Well, because well, we already told condition 1 to be equal to false. So condition 1 must have, even though we told condition 1 to be equal to false, condition 1 must have been triggered again. So within the last 5 bars, we must have also had a higher high and a higher low. And then it also re-triggered condition 2 again. So again, with programming, you can set it up to do whatever you want it to do. And I don't know what the initial what the initial poster was looking for, but I would think they might be curious about, if you have this condition to be met, then you're going to start this whole sequence, and the sequence starts, and then once it finds an entry, it's going to start all over. So you might have to do something like do a count, just some way to say, or it could be a condition, but just some way to say that if you're going to start over, right? So I did it with a count before, but yeah, let's do it with a count, because I could do it as a condition to say that once you start, the condition of start starts, and then once you find the plot, then you're going to turn the condition off, and then the condition could be turned back on by, let's try it that way. I didn't do it this way earlier, but I'm always up to learning new things. So we're gonna put start over, and that's going to be false. And then that's weird that just doing something different like this program, it just excites me. That's weird, but anyway. All right, so if count if, then condition 1 is equal to true. So not only is condition 1 going to be equal to true at this point, but we're also going to say that start over is equal to true. Okay, and then we're going to do end. And so we're going to say if condition 1 and start over is equal to true, then we're going to do all this. And then here we're going to say start over equals false. So essentially, once we find this plot, we're going to make start over equal to false. And then if we have this new condition again, start over is equal to true. The only thing that we need to do now is really kind of help identify when start over can happen. So I'm going to say if start, and I might be overdoing it here, if start over of a bar ago is equal to false. So that last bar, had, so the last bar turned off start over. So if start over was turned off, if the last bar was turned off, and count, I need to count anyway. Count equals is greater than or equal to 5, then yeah, looks like I just mostly needed the count. Then start over of a bar goes equal to false, and count is greater than or equal to 5. You know what? Let's get rid of that. Let's just do count. Count is going to be equal to 0. Once we find that, we're going to do, like I said, I'm seeing that I got to use a count anyway. To do it the way I'm thinking about doing it. So we're just going to do it this way, and then maybe I'll come back and do it like that later. All right, so on every bar we're gonna continue counting, and then count is going to start over at 0 once we get the total condition to be met. Once the total condition is met, of course, on every bar it's going to continue counting +1 for every bar. So after this is met, like I said, we're not going to look for another count if until we have an additional 5 bars. So count if. So if this condition is met and we're at least 5 bars out, greater than or equal to 5, then do that. We don't need to start over in here. All right. And count if greater than or equal to 5. Space. Okay. All right, let's see what I'm done here. All right, so the condition and count is greater than or equal to 5, then begin. Count 1 is equal to true. End if count 1. Oh, I took start over out, so we need to take that out. Okay, so there we go. All right, so essentially, like I said, we're looking for a higher high, and then once we have a higher high, at least one higher high within the last 5 bars, then we're going to start looking for condition 2. I'd almost want to see, well, I mean, it's not my script, right? But I'd almost want to see, because once this happens, now you're looking for a lower low within the last 5 bars. The thing is there can be overlap, right? I don't know how to show it on here, but say say you have you're looking for a higher high, so lower high, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. Now you have a higher high, higher low right there, right? All right, now condition 1 is met. So now you're looking for condition 2. For condition 2. Unfortunately, you're looking for condition 2 on this very next bar. So it's going to look back 1, 2, 3, 4. It's going to look back through these bars. And if it does so happen to find a lower high and a lower low, which it will, then it's going to say automatically that the condition is met. So I think that when you're looking for the condition 2, you really need to wait for another 5 bars before you consider that condition 2 is met. So that's why I said I would add something else that says maybe count S 0. And so we want to see, so once condition 1 is met, begin, we're going to count S is equal to 0, okay? And so then also on every bar, we're going to be adding to count S, so that way we have at least 5 bars between condition 1 being met and us actually looking for condition 2. All right, so then condition 2 is going to say if condition 2 and count S greater than or equal to 5, then our condition is met. And once it's met, we also can reset count S. Okay, so now it gives us these. And we should not have 2 instances occur side by side. All right, so let's see if it's doing what we asked for it to do. I'm curious about this one. Because see, this one, yeah, you got a higher high, and now that the condition's turned on, now you got a lower high and a lower low, so yes, that's true. Okay, here you got a higher high and a higher low, so now everything is ready to go, and you're gonna wait 5 bars, and now after 5 bars, you're looking for a lower high and a lower low. Okay, which technically is here, so how come this one didn't fire off? But it did fire off here. Oh, well, I think after this one fires off, we're waiting another 5 bars before we look for the criteria. So we're gonna wait 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then from 5, now we're looking for, the question is do you skip that 5 and then you look back through that 5? Or do you skip this 5 and then you start looking for your next 5? So again, that's another programming question to which, like, you really got to ask the original poster, because otherwise, I mean, it just depends on what you're looking for. And the way I have it here, if count if is greater than, and count is greater than or equal to 5. So here we started count back over at 0. So once we found this condition to be met, we started count back over at 0. And so we're looking for 5 bars to occur. Essentially 5 bars to occur. And then once that happens, now we're looking back through the last 5 bars, looking for a higher high and a higher low. Lowest greater. So if here we skip 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now we're looking back. Like I said, we're looking back, and throughout these last 5 bars, we should see. So we're going back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and within those bars, we do see this one here, which has a higher high and a higher low. And so I think it was this bar here is where we then start counting another 5 bars. Our count S is equal to 0. So we start counting another 5 bars. So I think it was from here, and then go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so now from this 5 bar period, we're going to look back 5 bars and see if we have a lower low and a lower high, which we technically do on this one. So this one should have fired off. All right, let's see. Count ifs. Condition 1. Tell you what. I told you. I said this condition chaining can be very tricky. If condition 1 is true, we're going to plot it in yellow, and then that way we can see what in the world is going on. Okay, so I was saying that once we got here, then we started looking for our first condition. But it looks like it waited till we got here. If condition 1 and count is greater than or equal to 5. So, like I said, once we got here, we went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And now count plus equal to 1. Then again, condition 1 is equal to true. Condition 1 count is equal to S. Plot 1 low. I know I went through this really fast, so let me make sure I put that in there right. High is greater than the high of a barcode. And the low is greater than the low of a barcode. Oh, gotcha. That's count if, right? So we actually are waiting until when we look back through these bars. Like I said, I was counting, I think, to about here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I was looking at this bar here as being the start bar of what we're looking for. And it is true that throughout these 5 last bars, you do have a higher high and a higher low. But you've got more than one. I said, how did I get a heart in there? I said that the condition is met if you look back through the last 5 bars and you only have one higher high and higher low. When you look back through those bars, it has more than one higher high and higher low. So, again, it's up to the original poster. When you're looking back through your last 5 bars, are you looking for, are you, as the chart goes, are you looking for the first higher high and higher low? Or are you just looking for any higher highs and higher lows? So if we change this to greater than or equal to, then as soon as this fires off, it's gonna hit it. Same way here, same situation. So if we put if it's greater than or equal to 1, we're gonna get a different result. I've got to put that in the right place. Okay. Greater than or equal to 1. Let's mute that one off. Okay. So now you see you have less results. And I don't even know how this one technically qualifies, because it's an equal high. It has a lower low, but it's got an equal high. Where else? Now it ought to show up more than just that. All right, so like I said, we're looking for a well, it showed up here. So we're looking for a higher high and a higher low. So over the last 5 bars, which technically happens on either one of these. So we just say this one, and then now we're looking for a lower low and a lower high, which does happen right here. So condition 1, if count F is I think not for this one. I think for the start one, it can be greater than or equal to 1. So you're just looking back through the 5 bars and you're trying to find if you have at least one of the bars that's got a higher high or higher low. And then for this one, for the second condition, for the lower high and the lower low, we need it to be equal to 1. It needs to be the first instance, which technically, if it even happens, then it's going to be the first instance. So it wouldn't necessarily be greater than 1. It will happen once it hits as 1. Let's see, what do we do with this count S? Gotcha. So every time we find a potential condition of condition 1 being met, because we're saying that if it's greater than or equal to 5, and this, we're getting condition 1 to be met constantly, and that's why all the lows lit up, right? So since it's being met constantly, it keeps resetting count S equal to 0. So since it does that, then we're hardly ever getting count S greater than or equal to 5, because it keeps resetting to 0. So this is one of those times where you just kind of need to reset. It's good to go through the process. It's good to kind of learn and that kind of thing. But once you start getting a little bit fumbly in here, it's time to just reset. All right, so we're looking for the higher high and the higher low to be greater than or equal to 1 over the last 5 bars. All right, so if that's true, then condition 1 is going to be equal to true. Now, and count S equals 0. In my head, I'm just thinking about a lot of different ways that you could do this, because you could say if count 1 of a bar go is equal to true, and if count is equal to true and count of a bar go is equal to false, then you could start it. Count S equal to 0. This is the start over part that I was telling you about. I think this is why you need a start over function. And it goes something like start over equals true. Down here, yeah, you would say start over equals false. And so up here, you would say you look for that count, but you'd also look for start over of a bar go equal to false. You look for start over of bar go equal to false, and you meet the criteria, and you have at least 5 bars. Then you're going to turn start over equal to true. And then start over equal to true will just stay true the entire time. So now we're going to have true, we're going to have start over being true the entire time, and that will prevent us from getting confused about what's going on with condition 1 anymore. Condition 1 can't be met at that point. Well, I mean, condition 1 can still be met, but it can't enter condition 2 unless both condition 1 and start over. Okay, so if condition 1 and start over, then you can come down here and you can do all this. And once you plot, then you're going to hit start over is equal to false. Bam! All right, we got it. Yeah, I know programming is kind of a silent thing. You know, you don't get cheers from anybody or anything like that. So I cheer for myself. Y'all ready for it? The Porsche. That's what we're shooting for, guys. That's what we're shooting for. That's what we're shooting for. But anyway, right. So here you got a higher high and a higher low, and so this starts your bar count. So then you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on this 5th bar. Now on this 5th bar, you're looking back through the last 5 bars to see if you had a higher, to see if you had a lower high and a lower low, and you do. You have it on this bar here. Okay. So on this bar here, condition 2 is met, and then you're good for it. All right, so now you're resetting your count. So you are saying condition 1 cannot be met until I'm at least 5 bars away. So now you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bars away. So on this bar, now you're saying, okay, well, look back on those last 5 bars and see if you saw a higher high and a higher low. And I did. I saw a higher high and a higher low right here. There's also right here and right here, but I saw it right here. So on this one, condition 1 becomes true, and start over becomes true as well. And so now you're going to wait 5 bars though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And on this 5th bar, you're going to say, all right, well, in those past 5 bars, do we have a lower low and a higher low? And you look back through there, and yes, you did. I guess this one here counts. I still don't like it though, because like I said, that's what the well, maybe I misread it. Let me see. Yeah, I mean, but that's what he said. You're looking for a lower high and a lower low over the last 5 bars. Like I said, your condition, it would be different if you were just asking, once this is met, now I'm just looking for the first lower low and lower high after 5 bars. That would be a whole different script. But that's the good thing about scripts, is you can write them however you want them to be. But essentially, this is what the person was looking for. This script right here. All right. I don't know what you want to do with it, but I will actually go ahead and export this, and we're going to upload it to the to Discord, and then whoever can use it, right? TS. Oh. That's why. Save the changes. All right, we're going to export it. Like I said, I will post this to the Discord, to the library, and if you think that this does something for you, then download it. And even if it doesn't do something for you, I mean, download it anyway, and it might give you an idea about something that you might do later. TS Gentle Giant. All right, guys. I'll go ahead and post this to the Discord, and I gotta come back here later and review the review the day for what happened. Like I said, I see these X's that it works oftentimes, but on some days it looks like it needs to be adjusted, and I don't know what the value is that it needs to be adjusted to make it be more accurate. All right, and that is the, I don't know which one that one is. Take hold for time bar. Take hold for time bar. This one does have inputs and ticks to consider 25. I might need to adjust this to being more ticks because I'm getting way too many. Too many signals. So I'll think about adjusting that to another value. Okay, guys. I'm Eric. I'm out. Peace.